So as many of you guys know, this year has been a very good year for the Opium label, to say the least. We almost received a new album from every single person within the label, and that's going to happen very soon with Destroy Lonely dropping his new project. But this year in 2025, we received a new Carti album, new Ken Carson album, alongside a Homixide Gang album. It's looking very good, and it's looking like we're gonna be getting even more music from the Opium label later within this year. We got possibly another Playboi Carti album. Ken Carson said he already confirmed he's dropping a small little project before his next one. Obviously, Destroy Lonely's new mixtape, Broken Hearts 3, and it's also looking like the Opium tour, the Antagonist tour, should be going down this year. So let's get into everything we know about the Opium label and the current state of Opium within 2025. Let's get into it. So to start off the video, we can go into what we know of within the Opium label in 2025 so far, right? Like I said, almost everybody has released their own projects, and the first person to do so was Carti back in March, right? Obviously, he released I Am Music, 5-year wait, 2020 to 2025. We finally received the album back in March. Everybody lost their minds. Carti finally dropped the album after, like I said, the god-awful long 5-year wait that finally concluded back in March. And obviously, Carti shook up the game with this album 1000%. This is still the biggest rap album of 2025. He put up a nasty first week number. He was on the top 10 albums for Billboard for what seemed like almost forever. That was I Am Music, very successful drop. And I'm gonna say it, and I said it earlier, I still think the 5-year wait was worth it. Statistically for Carti, 1000% it was. Culturally, everybody loved the album. Obviously, there's kind of like this newer like backlash going towards Carti's name as of recent, but realistically, this was a very successful drop. Everybody loved it at the start. I have no complaints towards this album, but that was Carti's album. Obviously, a month later in April, we got More Chaos from Ken Carson, which was a pretty cool album. To me, I wasn't too big on More Chaos, I'm gonna be quite honest. And in terms of numbers, the album did pretty well, sold 60K first week, Ken Carson's biggest debut. Pretty successful release for More Chaos. Obviously, Ken had a tour for More Chaos lined up, which should have been going down by now, but obviously, as everybody knows, the tour was canceled. And low-key, the tour getting canceled was kind of a good thing. We'll get into that a little bit later, but that's pretty much everything received from Ken within 2025, right? And we fast forward all the way to this month being August, the first day of August 1st, 2025. We received the sequel to Homixide Lifestyle from Homixide Gang, being Homixide Lifestyle 2. Homixide Lifestyle 2 was cool. I'm gonna be honest, if you were in the stream when we were reacting to this project on the night of the release, you know we didn't finish this project. I'm not gonna lie, I just couldn't sit through a 25 song Homixide Gang project. This project is what, an hour 11 minutes. They kind of just lost me about track 13, 14. I just didn't follow through with the rest of the project, so I can't really give an opinion on this project. And it seems like Homixide Gang did not sell anything first week. Like I said, what, I'm recording this on the 14th. That's 2 weeks from the initial date of the release. I've heard nothing in regards to a first week sale, what they put up. So it seems like Homixide Gang did not sell or chart first week. So it seems like 1000% Homixide Gang did not sell anything. But I wouldn't really say it's a flop because I didn't think a lot of people had expectations for Homixide Gang to put up a crazy first week. I was low-key thinking they could maybe pull off like an Osama Sun net spend type of number. Maybe they could do something between like a 9 to 11 first week sell. I thought that could have went down, especially with everybody thinking Carti was gonna be on the album. I'm pretty sure he was. I think he didn't clear his verse. Obviously, the song is called Chop Shop, which did leak pretty much in full from the Homixide Gang Roblox concert. But they were supposed to have Carti, but they did have Ken and Lone on the project, but didn't really sell anything first week. But from the Homixide Gang fan base, it seems like this was a pretty successful drop. All of their fans pretty much liked the project. So this is everything that's gone down within 2025 so far, right? We got Carti's album, we got Ken's album alongside Homixide Gang. So now let's get into what we know. It's pretty much confirmed for 2025 so far, which is pretty slim, right? Obviously, the only thing that we do know is confirmed for this year is Destroy Lonely's Broken Hearts mixtape or album. To be quite honest, I don't know if it's a mixtape or it's an album. I'm just gonna say project. But we know Lone has been teasing this for god long. I feel like the first time we seen anything in regards to Broken Hearts 3 was Destroy Lonely all the way back at Rolling Loud Miami. That was in December. He said, I have a mixtape dropping at the top of the year. Obviously, we're 8 months within the year and there's no Destroy Lonely project anywhere near, but it does seem like Destroy Lonely is heating up for release. I'd say this month, I do think we could expect a lone Broken Hearts 3 release within August. It felt like he had a lot of steam. Maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, Destroy Lonely released a single that was called Not the Mayor. That was amazing. That was really, really good. That's still in my rotation to this day. And then of course a couple of weeks ago, Lone released like this EP on Twitter alongside SoundCloud. I believe it was called See You Soon with SRT BBL. He had the Travis Scott SDP interlude remix, which actually caught a lot of steam. A lot of people really enjoyed that, and that really pushed a lot of hype and momentum for Broken Hearts 3, which y'all know that is probably one of my most anticipated projects to be dropping this year. I really feel like Lone has a good amount of steam. He came off, like I said, that EP. The EP was great. The newest lead single, Not the Mayor, that was really, really good. The aesthetic Lone has established for Broken Hearts 3 is very good. It kind of gives off that like old Destroy Lonely. Like I said, this is Broken Hearts 3, so we tapped back into that bag. The aesthetic is dope. The music has been very, very good so far. This new era that Lone is in for Broken Hearts 3 has been very promising, and I do think Lone could really drop his big one when Broken Hearts 3 does release. Like I said, I'm aiming for an August release, if not definitely next month, September for sure. And Broken Hearts 3 is like technically the only thing that's like confirmed to be dropping this year within 2025 from Opium. Broken Hearts 3 from Lone, that should be dropping anytime soon, alongside Lost Files 5 from Ken Carson. Now this is not really like a project. If y'all know what Lost Files is, it's technically like, I wouldn't say throwaways, but more so like songs that didn't make the cut that are still like community grails. Ken Carson used to do this a long time ago. He hasn't done a Lost Files in a fat minute. I feel like it was pre-AGC the last time we got a Lost Files, but Ken Carson teased what, July 30th, so about 2-3 weeks ago. He's planning on dropping Lost Files 5, so we can see that when, I don't know. I really don't know. It could be this year, or it could be like right before he drops his next project. We do know that Ken's next project is going to be called The Experiment. When that's going to be dropping, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be dropping within 2025. I really don't see it. I'm more so leaning towards like maybe like mid to late 2026 is when we could see that release from Ken. But that does not matter because we got Lost Files 5 on the way from Ken Carson, alongside him saying that there's going to be a music video for every single one of the songs he releases on this, I guess, like, I don't know, you can't really call it album, you can't really call it project, you can't really call it mixtape. I'll just say like playlist. That's what we got for Ken Carson, and that's what's confirmed for the rest of the year within 2025 for Opium. I'd say like take that one with a grain of salt, but 1000% we know Destroy Lonely is gonna be dropping his mixtape, I hope very, very soon, right? So now let's get into our delusional bag and kind of theorize what's next for the other Opium members and the Opium label as a whole, right? I'm pretty sure everybody who's watching this video has already seen all the indicators and hints towards the Antagonist tour. We got Opium Baby talking about the O going stadium after this. Now, I don't know if Opium can pull off a stadium tour. I'm realistically going to say no. I don't think they could do it, and I don't even think the fan base wants that to go down. I feel like everybody would low-key, not even low-key, I feel like all of the fan base would really just want to go to an arena tour. I think that's the best play, and that could be so insane because they could do like what, 3-4 shows at Crypto in LA, same thing in like Atlanta, maybe Barclays. We've seen Ken couldn't sell Barclays obviously himself, but if you put all of the Opium team behind that, definitely multiple nights within New York. We've also seen Destroy Lonely talk about the Antagonist tour. He said this year, expected by the end of this year. He said that in a Summer Smash interview. I'll play the clip right here.
Speaking on the road, we waiting for the Opium tour. You, Ken, Carti, Homixide.
Definitely.
Is that cooking up? Do you have any updates right there?
For sure. That shit on the way. Probably this year, probably by the end of this year, definitely.
We've seen Apollo Red talk about it alongside with Ken Carson's tour being canceled. I do think that would be the best play for pretty much everybody within Opium, right? Everybody dropped their projects. Carti obviously went on tour with The Weeknd, but I wouldn't really count that as a tour because he kind of plays like what, 5 to 6 songs, and it's not even all songs from the album. We finally get a real tour for the album from Carti, right? Then obviously Broken Hearts 3 alone, more chaos from Ken Carson, Homixide Lifestyle 2 from Homicide Gang. There's a lot of reasons for this tour to go down, like I said, but I would definitely say take it with a grain of salt because how many times has this tour been canceled? I think they're like 0 for 3 at this point with the Antagonist tour, but call me delusional, I think the Antagonist tour is happening, and I really think we could see it go down within 2025, right? And then finally, of course, what are we thinking with Baby Boi from Carti? If you guys don't know, we've seen Carti tease and hints at Baby Boi from what feels like every single post on the spam account. Baby Boi, it's coming, Baby Boi, it's on the way, this, that, and that, right? Carti's been super active with that. We've seen Carti be super active and really stir the pot with Baby Boi. He's been teasing a ton of music at a lot of the club appearances Carti's doing after the tour. We've seen him previewing a lot of new music like Bang Bang, Free 31 GK Blow, Off-White. There's been a ton of snippets. I'm guessing Carti's maybe like testing the waters with what snippets the fans want, or maybe just simply showing off songs at these club appearances. But nonetheless, there's been a ton of hype for antagonists alongside Baby Boi, a lot of teasers from multiple sources within the camp, from multiple legit sources. I think personally we could see both of those go down. If I go 2 for 2, that might be insane, but I really think the most antagonist tour could be going down this year, and potentially Baby Boi. I'm saying Baby Boi like either September or December. That's really my guess. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. How we feeling about Opium in the big 2025? I feel like it's been a great year. I feel like there's really no room to complain if you're an Opium fan, because we've been eating pretty much all year. If everything goes down perfectly correct, this is going to be damn near a generational year from Opium. But like I said, if you guys like this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. So MONEYMAY is it, and I'm out. Thank you guys.